Hello, Incarnation. It's Pastor Taylor, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the season of Lent and about our 40 days fast as a community that we're going to enter into during this season. Now, Lent is a season of 40 days that mirrors Jesus's 40 days in the wilderness when he was being prepared for his ministry. Likewise, we enter into this 40-day season of preparation, of fasting, of spiritual discipline to prepare ourselves for the Easter celebration. Now, our 40-day fast this year is going to be really unique because we feel like we have all kinds of bad habits and spiritual flabbiness coming out of this pandemic. And so we really want to begin re-engaging with the world and also shedding ourselves of some of the bad habits that we got during the pandemic. And so specifically, we're going to eat like Jesus, and then we're going to go a radical cold turkey fast from addictive social media. Now, when we say eat like Jesus, what we mean is not like, eating Middle Eastern cuisine like Jesus may have back in the day, but specifically Jesus broke bread with sinners and tax collectors. He broke bread with Pharisees. He broke bread with his brothers and sisters in the faith. And we want to imitate that by beginning to re-embrace hospitality. Most of us were existing in some kind of bubble during the pandemic, and for good reason. But we want to come out of that bubble now. We want to begin to have people over at our tables, begin sharing meals with people, or maybe accepting invitation to other people's houses, right? And so we want to invite you to eat like Jesus by once a week setting aside time to host a neighbor, to host maybe a non-believing coworker, or host a friend from church over for a meal or be hosted by them. Maybe for some of you that might be a little bit too much and you want to go every other week, that's fine. But the idea is that we begin to eat together once again. Okay, the second part of the fasting, a second part of our 40-day fast is a radical fast from addictive media. So this would include all social media. It would include news apps. It would include things like Netflix and binge watching and sports news. So we just want to encourage, we feel like screen time has become too important in the modern world, and it's actually spiritually deforming us. It's taking away our attention from the things of the Lord and from actually engaging with real people in person. And so just as a way of kind of recalibrating our own habits, we want to enter into this time where we're just taking a radical break from screens, except for things like work or necessary reasons why you need to engage in that kind of media. Now, on the front and back end of the season of Lent, we have two special days. One is Ash Wednesday, and then the other is Good Friday. And these are traditional days where we take the whole day to fast from food. And so we want to invite you into that fast. If you've never fasted in that way, in the email that we're sending out, there's going to be some instruction on what is Christian fasting and how do I enter into fasting in an edifying way. So if you can do a whole day fast on those days, great. Maybe if you want to fast for the first part of your day and then just eat dinner with your family, that's another way of engaging in that. Now, another interesting thing about the season of Lent is that we take a break from fasting on Sundays because Sundays are feast days. We continue to celebrate the resurrection even in the middle of the season of Lent. So maybe you're fasting from some kind of food or something like that, and you just take a break on Lent to remember that these things that we're fasting from may not be bad in and of themselves. In fact, many of them are very good things, and so we re-engage on Sundays. The last thing that I want to mention is that we're going to be reading this book, Theology of the Body for Beginners by Christopher West during the season of Lent. This is without a doubt the best teaching I've ever heard on human sexuality. It's so good, so deep, so biblical. I will just give one word, which is West is Roman Catholic, and so he quotes from the Pope maybe a little bit more than we as Protestants are comfortable with, but I think you'll find this book deeply edifying and deeply biblical when it comes to things like human sexuality, singleness, marriage, gender. Some of the best teaching that I ever heard, and we want to encourage you to engage with that. The email is also including a video teaching by Christopher West if you just want to hear some of that content yourself too. So that's it. Please join us for the Eat Like Jesus and the social media fast during these 40 days of Lent. But if you find that those two things are not really what your soul is needing, maybe you're needing to do more of a traditional Lenten fast or whatever, the idea is not for us necessarily to all have to do the same thing. There's a little bit of a choose your own adventure, because we all maybe need our own specific ways to grow closer to Jesus. So this isn't some kind of legalism or something like that, but it's nice to do things together. So we want to invite you into that kind of communal participation. So we hope you'll join us for this fast. If you have any questions, there's a lot of content on the email. You can engage them there, or you could just pull one of the clergy aside on a Sunday morning. God bless you.